Hello, everyone. So let's give maybe in a minute or two to everyone to join, and then we will start. It's already a minute over. Shall we start? Good. I think it's already a minute over. Let's see. Let's wait for maybe another 60 seconds. Okay. So our today's topic is the awesome team canvas. Right. This is in a very fun, visual or practical way to help teams build a shared purpose, clarity, and the ways of working. That's the whole objective. But why do we need it? What it is, right? And what do you think? What a great team needs? And can we have a group of great players? Can they make a great team? Not always. Imagine you are playing football with star players on your side, right? It's a winning formula, right? But think about it. What happens when things are not aligned within the team? What if one player doesn't know which goal to aim for? Right? What if another refuses to pass the ball? And what if half the team doesn't even show up on time for the practice? Would you as a team are going to win the matches? Probably not. You might have great individual talent, but not a great team. That's exactly what happens in many workplaces also. People are smart, talented, and hardworking, but without alignment, communication, and trust, things falls apart. Potential goes unrealized, and frustration builds. Right? And this is in a normal scenario you may have seen in your organization or maybe even in your team. Right? And that's where the awesome team canvas came in. What it is. So think about the canvas as a map of your team journey, a single powerful page that helps your team answer three questions. The questions are why we exist, what is our shared purpose, what value are we creating for each other. The second question, what we do, what goals are we chasing, how do we define success and measure progress. The third question, how we work, how do we collaborate, communicate, and grow together as a team? When everyone knows the why, the what, and the how, teams stop pulling in different direction and start moving as one coordinated unit. And that's where the awesome team canvas helps. Take an analogy of a band. If your team were a band, you would need to agree on the kind of music you are playing. That's your purpose. Decide which song to perform. That is your goal. And practice how to stay in rhythm together. That's your how, your ways of working. Otherwise, you would have the guitarist playing rock, the drummer doing jazz, and the singer attempting opera. The result would be chaos, no harmony at all. Right? The awesome team canvas helps you aligning everyone on the same tune. What makes it awesome? Because it's not just a form to fill out, it's a facilitated experience that transforms how teams operate. Here is what happens when teams engage with the awesome team canvas. The very first thing, it's align on the purpose. Everyone understand why they are here, who they serve. No more working in silos or wondering what's the point. Second, it helps you in clarifying the goals. No more confusion on, I thought you were doing that. Responsibilities become crystal clear. Third, it defines the success. Teams create a shared definition of awesome. What quality, pride, and excellence means for them as a team. Fourth, agreement on the behavior. Teams co create the working agreement, how to handle conflict, communicate effectively, and make decisions together. Fifth, and the last, make personal promises. Each member writes one commitment. I will ensure that, turning abstract value into daily action. And when people write it themselves, that brings in a lot of commitment also. So far, so good. Let me look at the chat if there are any questions. Okay, let's keep moving. The three layers of the canvas, why we exist. Every team needs a mission. There's superhero origin story. This layer answers, why does our team exist in this company? Who are we helping? What problem are we solving? What impact do we want to make? It gives meaning to everyday work because typing code, designing slides, or managing tasks feels completely different when you know why it matters. What we do? This is your battle plan. What goals are we trying to achieve this quarter, or maybe in the next month, or depending on your duration? How do we measure the success? What makes our work awesome, not just done? Teams define clear outcomes, key responsibility, and their definition of awesomeness. It's where big dreams meet small, concrete actions. How we work? This is your team's culture code, not fancy words or walls, but how you treat each other every day. How do you communicate, handle disagreement, give feedback safely, celebrate wins, and learn from failures? Here, teams create working agreements, their rule book for collaboration, safety, and respect. Those are the three layers. I will be sharing the format also by end of the session, so I have it in Excel format. What the canvas look like? It's in a single page, right? It has three sections, right? I will be sharing at the end, right? And I have facilitated this multiple times with teams, right? And it's always an exciting. This actually brings in a lot of new insight. People start understanding each other very well, right? When to use? So maybe for a new beginning, when your team is newly formed, reorganize, or welcoming new team members who need to understand the team's identity. Fresh start, starting a new project, quarter, or initiative that requires everyone to be on the same page from day one. When a team has lost direction, when the team is struggling with alignment, motivation, or unclear priorities that are also affecting performance. Whenever there is a major change, preparing for the organizational shift, new leadership, or significant pivots that require team recalibration. Growth mode, when your team is simply ready to level up, grow together, and operate at their highest potential. So these are some of the scenarios where you can use awesome team canvas, right? But don't limit yourself to just these scenarios. There could be more depending on your situation. So you are the best person to decide when to use it, right? And even if you have used it once, right? So make it in a regular activity. It's more of a regular alignment, maybe after every month, every quarter, whatever works for you. But make it in a regular stuff. I always say that whenever there is a change in the team, maybe a member has been moved out, a new member had joined, I think that may be the right time to recalibrate, right? How we can help, right? So as I said earlier, also we have facilitated multiple session. So this is in a between 60 to 90-minute session. It's a more of a guided workshop that will help your team. That will help your team in defining a shared purpose and mission. It helps you in clarifying their goals, roles, and responsibilities. It will create or refine their working agreement. It will also build the psychological safety and deep alignment also. Right? So if you are looking for any support or help on facilitating a session for your team, just do visit our website or maybe drop an email to support@agilewow.com. We would be happy to help you. And now let me share the uh, screen, the template which I have. So give me a second. Um, hmm. So if you look at it, these are the three: why we exist, what we do, and how we work. When we say why we exist, it includes your shared purpose. Why do we exist as a team? Whose life or work are we improving? What changes do we want to create through our product or service? And the question we should ask is, if our team disappeared tomorrow, what would break in the organization or product? There should be a strong reason for our existence. Then we create our mission statement. What do we aspire to achieve this year or quarter? What would make our work meaningful beyond just delivery? Right? And we create a tagline. Maybe every team member given a word or two, right? And then we create a tagline or a mission statement using it. Then the vision of success. What does success look like for the next 3 months? Which metrics, outcome, or stakeholder impacts define success? How will we know we are winning as a team? Right? And the question we should ask is, how will we know we are awesome 3 months from now? What we do? The second part, the ownership and the definition of awesomeness. Right? When we say ownership, what do we each of us bring? Skills, superpower. What do we overlap and complement each other? How do we make decision and shared accountability? What's one area where we depend on each other the most? That's the question each team member is going to answer. Then, as in a team, we define our the definition of awesomeness. What does awesome look like for us? What's the quality bar we never drop? What will make us proud next quarter? Imagine it's the end of the quarter. What would be we proud of to show? Let's define it now so that everyone is aligned. This is what we are trying to achieve. How we work? That's the working agreement. How do we handle conflict, silence, or disagreement? How do we balance speed versus quality? What principles guides us our daily behavior? Right? And the energy pulse. How do we feel as a team? What keeps us connected and effective? What is the one thing we can stop, start, or continue to make this team more awesome? The last, the learning and growth. What do we want to learn or improve as a team this quarter? Right? Which new practices, tools, or experiment will help you us grow? What are our individual learning goals? What's the one experiment that could make us better next quarter? Each team member writes a personal commitment. I will ensure that. For example, I will ensure that I bring my best energy to every collaboration. I will ensure that I celebrate small wins. These are the personal commitment we are making. And if you look at the colors, there is a reason we have selected these colors. The purple is the color of imagination, wisdom, purpose. It combines the calm stability of blue with the energy of red. Right? Yellow, it radiates clarity, focus, optimism. It is the color most associated with sunlight, right? We all know it. It draws attention, right? It supports decision making. The green represents the harmony, trust, and renewal. That's the canvas, right? So I will stop here. I hope it was useful, right? So in case if you need anything, if you have any question, comment, just drop us an email or let me, if you want to, if you want us to facilitate a 60 to 90 minutes session for your team. Thank you.